All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today we are diving deep into one of the wildest growth stories in tech right now, the incredible, almost unbelievable rise of Grok, Elon Musk's conversational AI. So let's just get right into the numbers.
Just look at this number for a second. 1,343,408%. And no, that's not a typo. That is Grok's user growth in a single year. I mean, that's a figure that's kind of hard to even wrap your head around. So how on earth did this happen?
That's the big question we're unpacking in this explainer. We're going to break down the strategy, the tech, and yeah, the personality that took what was basically a niche experiment and turned it into a global heavyweight in the AI arms race. So let's start with the journey itself, because this isn't just about one crazy number. This is a story about historic speed and scale, a story that's completely shaking up the competitive world of artificial intelligence. What's just so stunning here is the speed. I mean, think about it. In August 2024, Grok was just a beta product available to only a few thousand people. Then, just 12 months later, it hits that record-shattering growth. And today, it's pulling in almost 130 million visits every single month. That's a speed of adoption that very few products, let alone a complex AI tool, have ever seen. And to really put that into perspective, Grok isn't just popular, it has rocketed to the #2 spot in a market that is flooded with over 10,000 different AI tools. We're talking about going from basically zero to #2 in a field that crowded. It's just a monumental achievement. And the experts are definitely taking notice. Listen to what Anya Gupta from the analytics firm ToolTrack AI says. She says we're seeing the birth of a platform, something that isn't just riding the wave, but is actually redefining it. So what that really tells us is that behind all this insane growth, there's some real substance here. Okay, so Grok managed to build on that initial hype, but attracting millions of users is one thing. The real trick is keeping them. And this is where Grok really starts to pull away from the competition. Check out this chart. This shows a super important metric: average session duration. At over 15.5 minutes, Grok is keeping its users hooked way longer than its biggest rivals, ChatGPT and Gemini. And this isn't just a small lead, it's a huge sign of just how satisfied and engaged its users are. So why is that so important? Well, a long session time means people aren't just popping in, asking one little question, and then leaving. No, they're sticking around. They're having these long conversations, using it for complicated stuff, and actually finding the whole interaction useful and, fun. It proves the product has that stickiness. Which, of course, brings us to the core of this whole thing. What is Grok's secret sauce? What is it doing so differently that's leading to this kind of growth and engagement? Well, it really all starts with its creator, xAI. Elon Musk founded the company with a very specific, and let's be honest, kind of unusual mission to build a maximally truth-seeking AI. And that core philosophy shapes absolutely everything about the product's character. And that character really comes from three key things. First up, its personality. It's designed to be rebellious, witty, and brutally honest, a total contrast to the more safe, neutral tones of its competitors. Second, it's plugged directly into the real-time data firehouse from X, so it knows what's happening in the world, like, right now. And third, and this is huge, it wasn't trained on perfect, clean datasets. It was trained on the raw, messy, chaotic way that real humans actually talk to each other online. And honestly, this quote from content creator Priya Sharma just nails it. It feels like you're chatting with a smart friend who's read the entire internet and doesn't hold back. That's it right there. It's not just a tool, it's a conversational partner with an attitude. And that's the combination that people are finding so compelling. So what's the next chapter in the Grok story? After taking the consumer world by storm, its ambitions are getting way bigger. The next goal is to go from a social media star to a serious enterprise powerhouse. And their roadmap is super clear and aggressive. First, they're going after big business, licensing Grok for things like internal knowledge bases and customer service. Next, they're going mobile, with a whole new suite of productivity apps coming in late 2025. And crucially, they're tackling privacy concerns head-on, with better user controls. So you can see the strategy here, right? They want Grok embedded everywhere, in both our work lives and our personal lives. As we start to wrap this up, it's really important to zoom out for a second. The story of Grok isn't just about one viral product. It's a huge signal that the entire AI industry is entering a new, way more dynamic phase. So, what are the big takeaways from all this? I think there are three. First, the AI landscape is far from settled. It is more competitive than ever.
Second, in a world where a lot of the tech is similar, personality and user experience are massive differentiators. And finally, there is, without a doubt, a new major player at the table, and it's challenging all the established giants.
You know, Grok's rise really proves that an underdog with a totally different approach can come in and just completely shake up an entire industry in about a year. And it leaves us with one final fascinating question. In a race that's really just getting started, who's going to be next?